So hello guys, in this video we will be discussing about taxation in Spanish Philippines. So the Philippines may have abundant natural resources even before the encroachment of the Spaniards, but our ancestors were mainly involved in subsistence economy. So before pa man tayo sakupin ng Spaniards is mayaman na talaga ang Pilipinas sa natural resources tulad ng gold, gas at iba pang likas na yaman. Pero ang ating mga ninuno noon ay nakafocus lamang sa subsistence economy. So ano nga ba ang subsistence economy? Ang subsistence economy ay isang uri ng pamumuhay na walang hangad na kaunlaran. Ang goal lamang nito ay mabuhay sa araw-araw. Tulad ng pangangaso, pagtatanim, wala itong aim na magpaunlad ng ekonomiya. The arrival of the Spaniards altered the subsistence system as they imposed the payment of tribute from Filipinos. So, sa pagdating daw ng mga Spaniards, binago daw nila ang sistemang ito sa pamamagitan ng pagbabayad ng buwis or tribute. The tribute was a form of taxation implemented by the Spanish government in order to support government and church operations to finance the maintenance of the island, such as salaries of government officials and expenses of clergy. It was introduced in 1570. So, ang purpose daw ng pagbabayad ng tribute ay upang suportahan ang simbahan. Ang pangangailangan ng simbahan, kasali na rito ang sweldo ng mga government official at expenses of clergy. In 1589, the value of tribute was raised to accommodate the needs of the church. This was called sanctorum. In 1589 daw is tumataas ang singil ng buwis, nakabase na rin sa pangangailangan ng simbahan, and tinatawag itong sanctorum. The Spaniards faced difficulty in collecting tribute because of the dispersed nature of settlement. So, nakaharap daw ang Spaniards ng hirap sa pangungulekta ng tribute dahil sa kalat ng kabahayanan ng mga Pilipino. So dito nila in-introduce ang system of reduction. System of reduction by creating pueblos, village of town. Filipino were gathered and awarded plots of land to till. So, inipon daw ng mga Spaniards ang mga Filipino para bigyan ng lupang pagsasakahan. In 1878, 2 direct taxes were added and imposed on urban income. So, in 1878 daw may nadagdag na direct taxes, which is ang una ay ang urbana. Is a tax on the annual rental value of an urban real estate. So, ang urbana daw ay ang pagbabayad ng buwis kung saan nakatirik yung negosyo mo. Kung saan lupa nakatirik yung negosyo mo. Kumbaga, protection ba sa lupang kinatatayuan ng negosyo mo. The second one is the industriya. Is a tax on salaries, dividends, and profits. Ang industriya naman ay nakabase sa dividends and profits or kita ng negosyo mo. During the 19th century, when economic growth increased exponentially, there were no excise taxes collected by the Spaniards throughout the years of colonialism. In 17th century, through the Polo system, male Filipino were obligated to serve, a burden that resulted to an increase in death rate and a fight to the mountains, which led to a decrease in a population. So, in 17th century daw, i-introduce nila ang polo system. So, ang polo system ay male were required to provide labor for 40 days a year, reduced to 15 days in a year in 1884. So, ang polo system daw ay ang pagbibigay ng serbisyo sa pamamagitan ng 40 days sa isang taon. So, nagresulta daw ito ng maraming pagkamatay ng mga kalalakihan at ang pagpapatayan sa mga kabundukan at ang pagtatago ng mga kalalakihan. So, nabawasan daw ito ng 15 days sa taong 1884. Taxation in Philippines during the Spanish colonial period was characterized by a burden placed on the Filipinos. So, ang taxation daw sa panahon ng mga Espanyol ay may hahalin tulad sa heavy burden o sobrang kahirapang pasanin para sa mga Filipino. And the corruption of principales. So nakaramdam din daw ang mga Filipino ng kahirapan galing sa mga principales na siya namang sumusuporta sa Spanish government. Mariano Herbosa writes to Rizal about taxes. The tax, with regard to your question on this, the answer is very long, as it is the cause of prevailing misery here. So, kung tatanungin daw si Mariano Herbosa about tax, is masyado daw mahaba kung ikukwento niya lahat. Here, there are many kinds of taxes that they called irrigated rice land. Even if has no water, must pay tax 50 kavans of palay. So, isa na raw dito ang irrigated rice land. So, kahit wala daw itong patubig, kailangan itong magbayad ng 50 kaban ng palay. And land with 6 kavans of seed, pay 5 pesos in cash. Ang lupa daw nagpo-produce ng 6 kaban ng palay ay kailangan pa rin magbayad ng 5 pesos in cash. The land they call dry land, that is planted to sugar cane, maize and others pay different taxes. So may mga sakahan daw na tuyo at pinagtataniman ng mga tubuhan, mais at iba pa, and nagbabayad pa rin ito ng taxes. Even if the agreed amount is 30 pesos for land with 6 kaban of seed, if they see that the harvest is good, they increase the tax, but they don't decrease it if the harvest is poor. So, kahit na ang napagkasunduan daw ay 30 pesos for land and 6 kaban ng palay and 6 kaban of seed, na if nakikita daw nila na maganda yung ani is tinataasan nila yung singil. Pero kapag nakikita naman nila na hindi maganda yung ani is hindi naman nila binababaan yung singil. The most troublesome are the residential lots in the town. There is no fixed rule that is followed, only their whim. So, ang pinaka nahihirapan daw sa pagsingil ng buwis ay ang mga residential lots kasi wala itong sinusunod na batas kung magkano at ilan yung kailangang singilin na tax. Nakabase lang ito sa kung ilan yung gusto nilang singilin sa'yo. Another feature of this system is that on the day you accept the condition, the contract will be written which cannot be changed for 4 years. But the tax is increased every year. So, isa pa raw dito na kapag nakipagkasunduan ka daw dito, ay magkakaroon ng kasulatan na hindi mapapawalang visa sa loob ng 4 na taon. At taon-taon is tumataas yung pagsingil ng buwis. I'm looking for a receipt to send you, but I cannot find any because we don't get receipt every time we pay. So, naghahanap daw si Mariano Herbosa ng receipt o resibo ng pagbabayad ng tax dati, pero wala daw siyang mahanap kasi hindi naman sila nagbibigay ng resibo. The receipt has no signature in the place where the amount paid out to be. So, kung meron man siyang nahanap is wala itong pirma. Until now, I cannot comprehend why some are signed and others are not. So, ang mga iba daw ay may pirma naman, pero yung iba ay wala. Maaaring sinadya itong hindi sila magbigay ng receipt or hindi ito pirmahan upang hindi maging dahilan ng pagbagsak ng Spanish government. So, hanggang dun lang ang kinayang ikwento ni Mariano Herbosa. Pero sabi niya nga, kung ikukwento natin lahat is masyado tayong matatagalan dahil marami pa ring mga paghihirap ang sinapit ng mga Pilipino sa Spanish government. Since sila yung kauna-unahang sumakop sa Pilipinas.